Now is Florida Congressman Randy Fine. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And I know that you were appointed to the Foreign Affairs Committee yesterday. Congratulations to that, to you. What do you want to get done on that committee?
Well, I want to make sure we continue to advance President Trump's America First strategy. We're seeing it in the trade deals that you've been talking about, using America's might and America's market to not only ensure we're getting appropriate tariff revenue, but to make sure that American goods can be sent overseas. And I think the Foreign Affairs Committee has a big role to play in helping President Trump to continue to advance that agenda.
Yeah, and the president certainly is looking at each country differently and coming up with his own metrics in terms of what tariff should be paid. The Department of Homeland Security is highlighting some of the worst offenders that they've arrested since cracking down on illegal immigration. 70% of ICE arrests are illegal aliens convicted or charged with crimes. These statistics come just days after an illegal migrant released by the Biden administration allegedly shot an off-duty Customs and Border Patrol officer in the face in New York City. The Senate also hearing from loved ones of migrant crime victims during a hearing on Biden's border betrayal yesterday, Congressman. So the border has been among the priorities for this president. What else can get done with the new money approved in the big, beautiful bill?
Well, we've got to round everybody up and deport them all. People don't understand the cost of illegal immigration in this country. They obviously know the crime, but on auto insurance, you're underinsured and you're uninsured rates, housing prices, education costs, because we've got to educate all of these kids, medical care. Illegal immigrants are a huge drain on our economy, and we will see a huge resurgence for American workers and American families as we're getting all of these people out. Well, it starts with the criminals, but it ends with everybody.
Yeah, it's a great point to start with the criminals, and that's why some big cities actually feel different today. New York does feel a little safer after the president secured the border. Actually, jump in here because they've had so many wins in Congress this first 6 months, passing the big, beautiful bill, digital assets legislation, the nominations, all of that. And yet when they come back from their recess, they've got to deal with Democrats. They're going to need to work with Democrats to get these funding issues over the finish line.
Absolutely.
Well, One second. Go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, no. First of all, I do want to go back just real quick on the immigration issue, because even though the 70% that were arrested were criminals, let's remember that everyone that's crossed this border is here illegally that committed a crime. And so
they're all criminals.
Exactly. But no, I think, Congressman, you're going to have a tough September negotiating with Democrats, and it will be interesting. But listen, this speaker and the majority leader with Senator Thune have been able to get so much done, and I have full confidence. Every year we have this conversation of a potential government shutdown, and 99% of the time we figure it out. So this is going to be your first time, Congressman, so it's going to be interesting.
What are you expecting?
Well, I think it's going to be fine. Look, Democrats are going to have to make a decision. Do they want to shut down the government, or do they want it to keep running? What we have proven in the 6 months of the Trump administration is we know how to run the government. With a razor-thin majority, we got the first rescissions bill passed in decades, and we got the one big beautiful bill done. If we can do that, we can get our members to vote to fund the government. The Democrats are going to have to decide how much they hate America. Do they want us to keep the government running, or do they want to shut down all these programs that they say that they care about?
You know, it's interesting. Here we are talking about all of this release of declassified documents around the Russia collusion story. And many of your colleagues on the left were right there, pushing this whole fake narrative. So you'll have to deal with that as well. But in the meantime, you introduced a bill to designate the Council on American Islamic Relations as a foreign terrorist organization. Why was that important to deem them as a terrorist organization, sir?
Well, because they are one. And what they do is they masquerade as the NAACP for Muslim people, but they use that to support Hamas and to support so many of these negative efforts that we see on our college campuses. I mean, I'm one of 4 Jewish Republicans in Congress, and I can tell you that Jewish kids on colleges around the country, they don't feel safe today. And it's largely in part to organizations like CARE that whitewash the Muslim terror that we not only see around the world, but we see right here in America. I mean, look, we had Khalil Muhammad, that guy show up right here yesterday in Washington, D.C., wined and dined like a hero by the Democrats. We've got a real problem, and I know that at least on my side, we're going to deal with it.
Wow. Congressman, we'll be watching your work. Thanks so much.
Thank you.